Next is new product development, NPD. Virtually every product we see in the market is an outcome of the new product development activities of organizations. According to Clark and Fujimoto, new product development process is a process by which a firm transforms data on market opportunities and technical possibilities into information access and commercial production. As we can see in this definition, NPD is essentially about acquiring data from the market, from the marketing environment, assessing and analyzing market opportunities, and considering the technical abilities, capabilities of a firm. And on the basis of this is transformed into information access and ultimately into commercial production. And if you see the stages involved in the new product development process, you will see that commercialization is the last stage. So what this definition implies is that the essence of acquiring data on market opportunities and technical possibilities is for us to be able to develop good products that can be commercialized. There are different models of new product development process. There are some with 5 stages, some with 6 stages, some with 7 stages, 8 stages, and there are a few that have more than 8 stages. I'm going to employ a model by Booz Allen and Hamilton, which has essentially 8 stages. And the 8 stages include: number 1, idea generation; number 2, idea screening; 3, product concept and development; 4, marketing strategy development; 5, business analysis; 6, product development; 7, market testing; and the last but not the least, like I said earlier, is commercialization. This is the final stage where the product is successfully launched into the market. I will briefly explain each of these stages. The first and the most important stage in the new product development process is idea generation. Idea provides the critical raw material that a new product manager requires to develop a new product. Just like I have said, with raw materials under industrial product, which I said, it is the input that industrial firm transforms together into a finished product. So any industrial organization intending to develop a new product, the starting point is to generate ideas, as many ideas as possible. There is no limit to the number of ideas that can be generated at this stage. A good market-oriented organization will always develop a formal procedure and institutional arrangement that support and promote idea generation. It doesn't matter where the idea comes from. An idea can come from a cleaner, it can come from a gate man, it can come from a receptionist. What is important is for a market-oriented organization to have a formal procedure and institutional arrangement that stimulates every member of the organization to come up with ideas anytime ideas strikes them. Ideally, there are two sources of idea. The first one is internal source or sources. Then the second one is external sources. Usually, many companies begin sourcing for ideas from within the organization. And what are the internal sources of ideas? They are: number one, new product development group. In Japan, this is called quality circle. Some organizations always have new product development group on standby. Anytime there is a need to develop an idea, they see if ideas can come from this group. Another one is serendipity. Another one is marketing research department, sales employees, production employees, management, and a host of others professionals within the organization. Externally, organizations can source ideas from customers, competitors, universities, journals, newspapers and other periodicals, polytechnics, and other sources. The second stage is idea screening. In the first stage, multiple ideas must have been generated. Like I said, you do not screen or limit the number of ideas that can be potentially generated in the first stage. So it is at this stage, second stage, that the ideas are subjected to screening evaluation by developing certain evaluative criteria, which might include: number one, the consistency of the idea to the corporate objectives of the organization. The consistency of the idea to the marketability of the proposed product from the idea. Technical feasibility. Do the current production and other technical staff possess the capability to produce the new product? Then the fourth one is financial capability. Does the organization have sufficient financial resources to go through this stage to the commercialization stage? Then the third stage is concept development and testing. This is 2 in 1. A successful idea at this stage will be developed into a consumer proposition and also tested with potential consumers. We often differentiate between ideas and concept. Ideas are broad statements about a possible product that have the capability to satisfy a particular need. This is too vague, it's too broad and vague. So in this sense, these ideas needs to be transformed into concepts, that is, in terms or expression that consumer will understand. So when ideas are refined further in terms that consumers can understand, we say a concept has been developed. Concept can be developed by determining the following: who desires the product, that is, the product that will be derived first from the idea and second from the concept. Who requires the product? That's the target market. What do they require the product for? That is the need the product will satisfy. When do they need this product? This is the time, occasion that consumer will require the product. What features would they value in the product? This and other consumer specific refinement are what constitute product concept. Once the product has been developed, it is developed from the organization. So the organization should take a step further to test the concept with potential consumers. And in testing, the organization wants to determine whether the concept that has been developed is acceptable to consumer. They want to assess the consumer reactions. Concept is what the organization thinks the product should do. Concept testing is consumer agree with the organization with what they say the product will do for the consumer. And concept testing can be achieved through a number of ways. Some of these ways include focus group, that's consumer focus group, consumer panel, in-depth interview, and experimentation. The first stage of the Mpd process, that is new product development process, is market development strategy. At this stage, the new product manager will attempt to develop preliminary strategies for the proposed product, and this involves determining the target market size, structure, and behavior, the product plant positioning, and the sales, market share, and profit goal for the first few years, the marketing mix, and the marketing budget for the first year, and finally the long-term sales, profit and market share, and marketing mix and marketing budget over time. All of this will be determined before the product becomes physical product. And the fifth stage is business analysis. This is like the feasibility aspect of the project. Business analysis is necessary to determine the attractiveness of the proposed project, and it is a very, very important stage. Most new product development processes are terminated at this stage. when business analysis suggests that the proposed product will not be viable. And what are the issues that the new product manager is interested in? It is one, determination of the cost at which the product will be developed. Can the product be developed at a cost that make the asking price, that is the market price, acceptable to majority of customers in the market? If the answer is no, it is better this process is terminated. Can the price generate sufficient demand level that can guarantee the success of the new product in the market? If the answer is no, the new project should be terminated. A new product must be able to be sold at a price that can generate adequate and sufficient demand in the marketplace. Then the next one, that is stage 6, is product development. This is where the idea, the concept becomes a physical product, and in the form that is known as a prototype or a model. A prototype is a small version of the typical product. It is usually done to see or get the reaction of potential consumer before the product is produced in the right fashion. Product development involves a lot of commitment of resources, that is human, financial, material, and other resources, and it also involves considerable investment in a lot of activities and resources that will bring the product to life. Then the next stage, which is stage 7, is market testing. After the product has appeared in form of a miniature or prototype or model, it becomes necessary for the new product to be introduced into an authentic market testing, where the product will be tested. Unlike concept testing, the reason for this is to also gauge consumer and dealers' reaction toward the product. And there are a number of stages, and there are types of market testing strategies. The first one is test marketing. It is usually described as standard test marketing. The second one is known as simulated test marketing. The third one is known as controlled test marketing, and there is also product use test. And the final stage of the new product development process is commercialization or launching. This is where the product is introduced into the original market. By now, the product will have been branded, packaged, labeled, whatever information input that the tester must have obtained from the market as a sort of market testing the product. Everything operation will have been made before the product is finally introduced to the market. In introducing the product to the market, Wilson and Gilligan identified 4 important issues. The first of this issue is, 1, where should the product be launched? 2, when should it be launched? 3, what target market should what target market should be targeted, and finally, how is the product going to be launched. The first one has to do with timing strategy. The second one has to do with place strategy. The third one has to do with introductory market strategy, and the last one involves taking final decision on series of activities that marketers will need to undertake to ensure successful introduction and marketing of the product in the market. And this involves determining the financial, the production, the procurement and marketing activities. Thank you for your time.